Cosmic Warriors, and welcome back to another video. Okay, so in today's video we are going to be taking a look at the physical appearance and the physical attractiveness of those of you who have a Libra rising. Yes, so stay tuned because I've got some interesting information to share with you all. But before we do get started, make sure that you give this video a like if you like it. Also make sure to subscribe if you have not already, and to click that little bell icon in order to keep yourself updated with further content from myself. So yeah, with all those introductions out of the way, let's jump right into this. Let's do this. Okay, so first and foremost, I am specifically going to be focusing on the rising sign to analyze the physical appearance and the physical attractiveness. However, also keep in mind the sun sign, okay? So look for the sun sign to provide you with more indication into the physical appearance. And also, some astrologers like to associate the midheaven with physical appearance, and some astrologers also like to associate the chart ruler, so the ruler of your rising sign. Wherever that planet is located within your chart, go to that area to get more of an insight into your physical appearance as well. But for the purpose of my analysis is that I'm going to be specifically honing in on the rising sign, okay? Though I do just want to quickly mention here as well, I have made a physical appearance series in the past, which was about 3 years ago. I would like to think that I have developed a lot as a person, I've learned a lot as a person, but yeah, if you want to check out that series, feel free. But the difference between my previous physical appearance series and this series is that, well, the main difference being that in my previous series I included examples of celebrities, so I used celebrities within those videos. But for the purpose of this series, I asked you guys, my viewers, my subscribers, to submit your images to me via email. So I'm going to be using you as examples. Which, by the way, I just want to say thank you so much to all of you who did send through your images. Okay, so with all that kind of being said then, what makes a Libra rising individual so damn physically attractive? Okay, well, the first obvious example that I have here to mention is to do with the measurements of their face. Libra risings usually have symmetrical facial features or bone structures, meaning that their features or their structures, well, their facial structures and features specifically, are pretty well proportioned and balanced on their face. Naturally, however, okay, the measurements of their facial features can differ depending on many factors, such as their age, their race, their ethnicity, their weight, their gender, for example. But it could be suggested that their harmoniously outlined faces are a part of what makes them physically attractive and appealing to the naked eye. Which, quick fun fact here just to mention, did you know that physical attractiveness can be linked to fertility and health, as physical attractiveness functions as a cue of mate quality and reproductive values? And it is commonly known that on average, humans are more attracted to others who have symmetrical faces, which, to be honest, I find this to be quite interesting because it shows the connection here between physical appearance and the reproductive system. Now, the second thing that I want to mention here is to do with how Libra risings carry themselves and how they just go about their day naturally. Yes, these individuals are usually relatively approachable and they're pretty easy to talk to and get along with, but as you kind of see them go about their day, there's something in their movements that's quite elegant and it's quite gracious. Same could be said about their facial expressions and their mannerisms. So they'll probably not pull strange or obscure faces that are off-putting to other people, especially faces that display disgust or distaste or anger, kind of suggesting that they don't necessarily want to make it appear that they're dissatisfied or that they're disappointed or that they're upset with other people, even though they may be. Though So essentially, their facial features and their mannerisms aren't overly harsh, and they're not jarring. They don't make you think that you should be alarmed by them or that you shouldn't talk to them. And so I think that these reasons can equivalent to their physical attractiveness, to their appearance, because I mean, you're more likely going to avoid somebody who comes across as quite grumpy or who is scowling than you are to avoid somebody who is more neutral or someone who's much more peaceful in their facial expressions. And this kind of ties us into another thing about the Libra risings that I think really does add to their physical attractiveness, and that is to do with their soft and smooth facial features. Now, it could be that the actual texture of their skin is quite soft and smooth, or it could even be the way that they gaze, the way that they look at other people that seems very soft and smooth in its appearance. But essentially, it's something about their face that really draws other people in. And the same thing could even be said about their hair, where maybe other people feel this need to compliment the Libra rising on their hair, or they maybe even want to like touch their hair because of how lengthy it is or how curly it is, or just due to how well kept the hair looks or how strong and healthy it looks also. Which, following on from this point, you may find that with Libra risings, they're very, very good at attending to their physical appearance, which this reminds me of my mother. So my mother has a Libra rising. She was born with her rising sign as Libra, and she has the lengthiest of hair. It's very healthy. Now my mum, bear in mind, she's coming 60 this year, but she has grey hair and she does not put any sort of dye in her hair. And it's just so long and it's so strong too and healthy looking. So in this case, perhaps often Libra risings, they can be complimented a lot for their appearance. I even know myself, I'm always complimenting my mum on little tops that she wears or little cardigans that she wears. I even remember being a teenager and I would used to steal her little cardigans and jumpers and wear them. I've told my mum this, she knows. Though still, the Libra rising individuals, you may find that they often get complimented for their hair or for what they're wearing or for how they apply their makeup, if it is that the Libra rising individual likes to wear makeup, or if it is that they like to put dye in their hair, whatever style they choose to create, the Libra risings may really grab other people's attention and people may compliment them for those very things. I also just want to mention that even if a Libra rising maybe struggles with their physical appearance, you know, so for example, maybe if they have acne at some point in their lives, they're usually very good at taking the necessary steps to keep that under control. I guess in a way, this sort of leads us on to another thing about the Libra risings, and that is to do with their ability to strategically attend to their physical appearance and to their attractiveness. So from how they groom themselves to how they eat, from the people they even choose to associate themselves with and communicate with, to the types of products that they buy or the types of clothing that they would wear. Basically here, there is a certain image that the Libra rising individual may really like to uphold, and they can just do such a fantastic job at doing it. Though if you ever were to point this out to a Libra rising, then they might blush or they might act all bashful and be like, oh, you know, thank you, thank you. Not to mention here, they know how to give a great compliment in return themselves. And if they give other people compliments, the other person might quite literally just faint, because the compliments that a Libra rising individual gives other people, they're just so genuine and they're so heartfelt. Though another thing that I want to mention about the Libra rising individuals to do with their physical appearance and their physical attractiveness is that they can often be seen with well-balanced complexions. Now, I kind of mentioned this already in the previous example with them having soft and smooth skin, the kind of skin that makes you just go, how are you even human? Though still, there's something about the natural quality or the color or the pigment of their skin that is so attractive and it's so captivating. So you might not see over a lot of discoloration or harsh skin patches, for example, or you might notice their natural skin tone or that their pigmentation is quite even and harmonious in that way. Which, by the way, can I just say that from the images that were sent in to me, I've noticed that the makeup that was applied on the people who sent in images wearing makeup, the application of that makeup was done so well. So could it be suggested here that how these individuals apply their makeup, how they dress, how they groom themselves, etc., it's all done so smoothly. Or at least that's how it appears to other people whenever they see them. And the same could also be said about how symmetrical their makeup appears as well. Now, another common physical trait about these individuals that can be seen as very attractive and appealing is to do with their lips and their noses, okay? So you notice in the images that there is a certain plumpness and richness in their lips here, and even if they don't have the biggest top lip, you also notice that it's very well prominent, it's very well defined, and there's also quite a meatiness or a richness in their noses, especially at the bottom of their noses. Though what I've noticed from the images sent in to me is that not overly a lot of them smiled with their teeth. Maybe it could be suggested that they want to appear more sultry and much more seductive by not smiling with their teeth. But even for those individuals who did smile with their teeth, as well as those who did grin in the images, you can also see their dimples appearing here, which also contributes to their physical attractiveness, because dimples are often viewed as rather cute and they can make people look more youthful and look more bright. Now, this next example may not be such an obvious one, but Libra Risings can be physically attractive due to their natural ability of being able to relate with others so well. They basically have this way about them of relating with you over similar interests and likes. So for example, you might not really think that you have anything in common going into any particular social interaction or situation, but it's a Libra Rising individual who can be very good at finding that sweet spot between you and them. So this could be the likes of them watching the same movie as that you watched and then he's having a conversation about that, or this could be them liking similar music to you. And once they're able to relate to you, you might start to grow fonder, much fonder of them, also further increasing how physically attractive they are to you. So following on from this point as well, perhaps it could be suggested that the more relatable the Libra Rising is with another person, then that other person may feel more comfortable to approach the Libra Rising individual. And so if there is more of a communication, like there's more interactions between another person and the Libra Rising happening, then that creates familiarity. And I also think that familiarity adds to physical attractiveness. So the more times that you hang out with somebody or that you see somebody, the more likely, of course with the positive spin on it, but the more likely that you might find them to be physically attractive and appealing. Though on the flip side of this though, maybe this can actually frustrate Libra Rising individuals, because perhaps sometimes people become attracted to the Libra Rising because of that relatability, but yet the Libra Rising person isn't really all that into this other individual. And so maybe sometimes it can get a little bit twisted in that people can misconstrue the Libra Rising Libra Rising's intentions, or maybe they get things a little bit mistaken. So yeah, Libra Rising individuals may sort of have these moments where it's like, no, I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean to make it seem like I was interested in this person. I was just being friendly. I was just being nice. Which, following on from this point as well, you will find usually that being in the presence of a Libra Rising individual, it's very calming and it's very soothing. Similar thing could be said about the Taurus Rising individuals here too, but yeah, just being in the presence of a Libra Rising person can feel like just that you're welcome. That you're so welcomed by them, and that they're willing to hear you out through any situation. And even further on from this point as well, they're very good at meeting other people halfway. They're also very good at balancing out the energies within the room or what's going on whenever you're having an interaction with them. So if you're excited and pumped, then the Libra Rising individual may get excited and pumped right along with you. But at the same time, if you're feeling a bit down, a bit sad, then they also may be very good at just speaking with you, communicating with you, trying to get you in better spirits, for example. But at the same time also respecting the fact that you're feeling quite down and a bit sad. Though another thing as well is that they will most likely do this through how they do communicate, because the thing about them is that they can be very good at using the particular words in order to help you out in that way, in order to accommodate you or to hear you out. And similar with their tone of voice, they may be very cautious of the tone of their voice, or cautious of their body language, their body movements, or just how they're coming across overall. So the last thing that I want to mention about the Libra Rising's physical appearance and attractiveness is to do with their clothing choices and their wardrobe selection. That can be very pleasing and really nice to look at. Now, it's also good to look at the placement of Venus to get more of an insight into beauty and fashion and style and so on. But with the influence of Venus ruling the first house here, we notice that their fashion sense is well thought out and it's artistic in its appearance. Just seem to have this way of knowing which clothes or items to match with another piece of clothing or a particular item, or they know what sort of makeup style to wear with their outfit, or they know what type of nail polish to wear, etc. Whatever it is that they do choose to wear, they do so with style and they make it seem effortless. Okay then, Cosmic Warriors, so that concludes my video on the physical appearance and the physical attractiveness of the Libra Rising. Now, if you happen to have a Libra Rising, then let us know what you thought of the video in the comment section down below, especially if you are one of the people who sent in your image. Okay, let us know what you thought of the video, and thank you to all of you who did send in your image. I'm really grateful to you, and also it was a lot of fun having you guys join me for this video today. But yeah, with all that being said, thank you so much for watching, thank you for subscribing, and if you would like to see more videos from myself and you have not yet subscribed, then go right ahead and click that subscribe button and give this video a like, remember. And I will be back with another video very soon. Bye!